Hey guys, welcome back. Well, I wanted to show you guys what I've been doing with all the scraps that I've been getting off the brute force splitter. Because some of you guys are like, oh, you know, it does make a lot of waste and whatnot, da 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 da. I can show you my wife right now. She's in the window. But anyways, so yeah, this was all from today. So if you see, it's a good sized wheelbarrow too. It's on the small one. So this is all scraps. That's some scraps with some bigger pieces that were knotty. Yeah, I could pull out my other splitter, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to burn it. Just going to throw it in the boiler. So I mean, it's a good sized piece. You know, a lot of all the cutoffs that we didn't split today, some other scraps, but it'll all go in the boiler. So it doesn't go to waste. But since it's actually been a lot warmer out now, I mean, today it was in the 60s, not bad. This thing hasn't been burning like at all. I mean, it's been burning obviously, but I haven't gone through a lot of wood. So a few nights ago, I don't know, I filled it like normal because it was still down in the 30s, 20s at night. But the next day, actually, you know what? That night it stayed in the 40s. I don't really pay attention to the weather that often, but so I filled it like I normally would, but it was warmer that night. So I go out in the morning. It was like 14 hours later, and I go in there to open it, and there's a lot of wood left. I'm like, wow. So that just tells me that the garage barely ran, if any. House, I noticed that it didn't run at all like that night, maybe once, right? So there was a lot of wood left in there. So from now, for the next 7 days, it's supposed to be like in the 40s, 50s, 60s. A couple days it's supposed to be in the 70s. So the house probably, and it's supposed to be sunny too, so the house probably won't run. I have the garages off right now, so all I'm going to be burning, I think, from here on out, unless we're still going to get those cold days, is just scraps, just wood that I split up. I mean, I still probably have 2 cords of wood of locust that I'll throw in from time to time. But because I'm going to let this baby run all summer, so this is kind of giving me a test to see what how much wood I'm going to burn throughout the summer, and that's a telltale sign I ain't going to be burning much, which is good. So I haven't thrown any wood in here today. It's been 24 hours. I have opened it and scraped it, and moved some logs around, so I have touched it. But it just goes to show you, you know, a 20-30 degree difference does for how much wood you're going to burn. It's actually pretty crazy. So, which is good, because that means I'm not going to go through a lot of wood this summer. And if I can keep it running, you know, without having any issues, because it's so warm and it's, you know, it keeps a good cold bed considering it's not running, which is good because it's just another way for me to get rid of these scraps. Yeah, I could bundle them up and sell it as kindling, but I'd rather just burn it. So I'm going to show you how much I put in here. Now, scraps, there's not much wood here, right? So it's going to look like I put in a lot, but it's really not, because it doesn't sit like nice and flush. So I'm going to put in more than I probably typically would, how it looks in the box. But this will all dry out within the one burn. This is all going to be super dry. I mean, it's already dry as it is, but so I'll probably burn a little bit more than it usually would. But so the wood that I showed you here, this is probably 3 days worth of wood, easily. So I'm going to throw it in, and I probably won't have to add any wood in the morning. I'll just stir it up and let it burn down. So I'm going to show you how much I put in with just scraps and see how it looks. I haven't looked at it since this morning. There's still a bunch of wood in here. right, let's get some wood in here. Let's take it out of this. Some bigger chunks. And I'll show you, I'll make a video in the morning to show you what it looks like. Like, it's supposed to get actually kind of cold tonight in the 20s, but like I said, I only have the house on. And it's windy too, so the house will probably run a little bit. This is primarily, I'd say, 90% ash. Freshly split. Obviously, as we all know, ash nowadays is all dead standing wood, so here's some elm or maple. Some more maple. I always put in a little bit more than I need. Sometimes I get lazy and I don't come out here fast enough. Which is fine. I'd rather put more in than not enough. Alright, hopefully you guys can see this. I doubt it with all the smoke, but that's way more than I need to put in there. So that's the bottom of the door. It's almost all the way back. Alright, she's in a burn cycle now, which is good. So that's what I do with all the scraps. And like I said, so let me take that back. So I still have the water flowing to the garage in its normal loop. I just don't have the heaters running. So there's still going to be heat loss there because obviously the ground's still going to be colder. And I'll probably leave it running for at least, I don't know, probably another month until I know for a fact that the ground's not that cold, because I obviously do not want that water to freeze in the line, because that'd be a huge problem. But yeah, so moving forward, I think I'm just going to heat the house and the hot water, of course, until we shut it off. But like I said, I'm going to continue to heat the hot water. So if I can get away just burning scraps for the whole summer, that'd be great. Maybe a couple sticks here and there, some junk or some knotty stuff I'll throw in there. Here's that wood pile again. I don't know, it's deceiving, but it's a big pile of wood. Gets me excited. So yeah, so far so good with the boiler. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, it's probably one of the most what do you call it, rewarding purchases I've had. I mean, you come out here twice a day, sometimes once a day. But now if I was doing that test, see how long she'll burn if filled, I know for a fact I could go 3 days, probably longer. I would never do that in the summer because it'd probably go out, because there's no burn cycles. It just stays idle all day. I was out here, I think, for 6 hours, and the whole time we're out here, it's hard to tell because I can't hear it. It maybe ran one time. Well, as we know, that's not a lot. I mean, yeah, obviously it does its timer cycles, but this full burn cycle is better than ever. I mean, the garage the whole time never ran, stayed above temp. Whenever the sun's out, it holds temp in there pretty good, which is good. So, and then the house, after 6 o'clock, it drops down 3 degrees. That doesn't run, because I can see the thermostat where I sit on the couch before I go to bed. It doesn't run at all. I usually go to bed around midnight every night because I'm always doing work stuff, but unless it's really cold, it'll run a few times. But the last, let's say last month, it won't run till maybe 11, maybe midnight. So the house is pretty well insulated. But yeah, no, so that's what I do with all the scraps. It burns just fine. The coals are probably not the greatest burning that, but it still holds enough coals that throughout the burn cycle it's fine. It's probably glowing pretty good in there now. It's been running for what, 2 minutes. So, and I still split these cutoffs. Yeah, I can just throw in the logs. It just doesn't burn the greatest that way. So I split them at least in half, and then I throw in those little chunks, and that burns actually really good. I get really good coals from that because it's bigger wood, right? So, but yeah, I'll do a follow-up in the morning so you can see what I got. So like right now I want to say it's 7:30. So I'll probably come out here like 8:30. So it'll be 12, 13 hours, and I'll show you what it looks like. And then I'll probably fill it, maybe I'll fill it. I'll probably just end up stirring it up. I think it's supposed to be in the upper 40s tomorrow. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, you want to see anything else on the boiler, anything, it doesn't matter what it is, I'll show you. Any questions or concerns, if you're thinking about a G series, whether it be the 10 or the 4 or the 7, they're all pretty much the same concept, just one's bigger than the other. So let me know, and I'll give you my feedback. I mean, my honest feedback. I'm not partial to Heatmaster, but it's held up well for me. I mean, yeah, I've had a little issues here and there, but so far, for the most part, it's been pretty good. Knock on wood, obviously. So, but yeah, as always, keep burning.